Today I've got a great list for you of 10 Christmas-oriented action flicks for your December watch list. So let's rock this. Hi everyone, how you doing? Welcome back, I'm Fuzz. So Christmas-based action movies, that is the subject of today's video. As we head into December, I always like to get in the holiday spirit by playing some of my favorite action movies that also happen to take place around the holidays. So that means that all the films on this list are going to have at least some kind of connection to Christmas, even if it's only as a backdrop for the film. Now personally, I don't care if there's only a small connection to Christmas. That's good enough for me. As long as there's a connection and the film takes place at Christmas time or around the holidays, it's eligible for this list. I don't need all my Christmas films to be overtly Christmas films, you know? I just need to have that atmosphere, that vibe kind of in the background of the film somewhere. That's good enough for me. Now keep in mind, these aren't going to be in any particular order. They're not ranked at all. I am numbering them just so I can keep track of where I'm at in the list. But really, this is just a random smattering of what I think are 10 great action films that are perfect for watching around Christmas time, perfect for watching during the month of December. Now keep in mind, there are a couple titles on this list that I've not seen personally myself yet. You know, they're on this list because they're on my own personal watch list. So I thought I'd share with you guys what I'm watching as well, in case any of you are interested in following suit. Okay, so let's get right into this list. My first choice is going to be probably the most obvious choice, and that is, of course, Die Hard from 1988, and by extension, Die Hard 2. Both great films. Of course, you know, you can't go wrong with this classic, right? I mean, how much can we really say about Die Hard? This is the quintessential Christmas action film, right? This is one I like to watch every year around this time. In fact, I always get so excited about watching it that by the time it's finished, I'm bummed that it's over. So I naturally have to move on to, I go right into Die Hard 2 because that also takes place at Christmas time as well. And this one's a lot of fun as well. So, you know, that's how much I love these films. They're just so much fun, and they are absolutely perfect for the month of December, right? So, like I said, probably the most obvious choices for this list. So let's get those out of the way right now. But yeah, Die Hard and Die Hard 2, Die Harder, absolutely must watch for the month of December. At number 2, we have a title that I was hoping to receive in time for this video. I had just recently ordered it, but it hasn't quite arrived yet on physical media. I've got a Blu-ray coming, and that is Invasion USA. Little Chuck Norris action here. Great film that I only saw myself for the first time last year. And I enjoyed it so much that I knew going into this Christmas season that I had to have it in my collection, right? And I've been bulking up on other Chuck titles as well over the last year. So I definitely had to pick up Invasion USA. Now this one that I'm showing you here is, it's a Region B disc. I actually got it from Rare Waves. They're in the UK. I had to import it. I'm not sure if there are any U.S. Blu-ray releases in print anymore. I got the impression that it was long out of print in the U.S. and that if you wanted a U.S. Blu-ray, that it was going to cost you a small fortune to get it. So I found that I got a much better deal on eBay getting this Region B version. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing it. Now, of course, I don't mind the Region B release because I'm region free here. You know, I've got a multi-region player, so that's not really an issue for me. Even though I do try to get discs that are either region free or region A. In this particular case, the best deal was going to be a Region B disc, so that's what I ordered, and that's what I'm very excited to check out. It's supposed to arrive any day now. Like I said, I was hoping to have it in time for this video, but just a really fun Christmas action flick. This one has definitely got Christmas more as a backdrop. It's not like a central theme as much as it is just kind of a backdrop, but it's perfect for this time of year. So if you've never seen Invasion USA, definitely give it a try. You can either get a Blu-ray from like the link I provided below, or maybe do a little hunting on eBay for it, or you can probably find it somewhere streaming. That's what I did last year. I don't even remember where I was streaming it last year, but you can probably find it somewhere streaming just to try before you buy. Coming in at number 3 is another choice that I think is probably a pretty obvious one. Written by Shane Black, the first film on this list written by Shane Black, who wrote a lot of films that were Christmas based, right? Or at least had Christmas as a backdrop. And that is, of course, Lethal Weapon, the first Lethal Weapon movie. I have it here in this apparently a European Blu-ray set that is, well, is region free, but I've got all the films in this. But really, it's the first film that we're talking about here. Great Christmas action flick. I don't think there's much I can really say about it. Of course, Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. Yeah, it's classic stuff, right? And it certainly uses Christmas as a key backdrop to the story here. So yeah, Lethal Weapon, a kick-ass Christmas action film. This is another one of those films that is perfect for this month, and it's one of those films that is supremely rewatchable, right? So I always enjoy revisiting this one around this time of year. Coming in at number 4 is a film that I don't have on Blu-ray yet, but I do plan to pick it up sometime this month. I actually rewatched it last year after not having seen it since probably the 90s, and that is The Long Kiss Goodnight. Amazing cast in this film, right? You got Gina Davis, you got Samuel L. Jackson, who else we got here? Brian Cox, David Morse is in this film. This is one of those films that is perfect for watching around this time of year. It is dripping in rich Christmas and holiday atmosphere, and it's just a fun ride all the way around. So if by some chance you've never seen this one, I think a lot of people forget about it. I don't hear as many people talking about The Long Kiss Goodnight these days. Like I said, I hadn't seen it myself since about the 90s when I rewatched it last year, but I had such a good time with it. I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to pick that one up on Blu-ray and give it another rewatch again this year. So if you've never seen The Long Kiss Goodnight, give it a try. It's a lot of fun, and you may be able to find it on streaming as well if you want to try before you buy. That's what I did last year. I think it might have been on HBO or something last year. So I don't know where it's streaming now, but I would highly recommend checking it out and pick up the Blu-ray if you're a big physical media person, which I assume most people watching this channel are. Yeah, you should definitely consider picking up the Blu-ray at some point to add to your Christmas action collection. At number 5, I have not seen this one yet, and that is Violent Night, which just came out last year, 2022. I've heard a lot of great things about this film. Honestly, it sounds right up my alley. It sounds like a Home Alone meets Die Hard kind of thing, and it's definitely got some it's got some intensity to it from what I understand. So I'm very much looking forward to checking this out. This is one of those films I do plan to pick up on 4K within the next couple weeks. I am very anxious to see it. I didn't watch it last year because the Blu-ray came out after Christmas, I believed. And I wasn't going to buy the Blu-ray because at the time they didn't have a 4K release. And I suspected that they would have a 4K release out by the time we got to this Christmas season. And of course, that's exactly what happened, right? So I just held off and waited for it. In January, I wasn't really in a Christmas mood, so I wasn't really in the mood to watch the film. But I knew that by the time I would be in the mood to watch the film this Christmas, we'd probably have a 4K by then, and now we do. So I haven't picked it up yet, but I am definitely planning on picking it up in the next week or two. So if you've never seen Violent Night, give it a try. I hear great things about it. And if you have seen it, let me know what you think in the comments below. Of course, don't spoil anything, but I'm always interested in hearing your thoughts. If I've got something on my list that you think is a great title, by all means, share your thoughts with me on this. Okay, moving on to number 6 here. I'm going to cheat just a little bit for this one and put 2 films under a single entry for what I'm calling my Tony Scott holiday double shot. So 2 key Tony Scott films here that I think are perfect for this time of year. I'm a huge Tony Scott fan, so any excuse I have to rewatch his films, I'm always all in on that. And of course, this time of year is no exception. The first of these 2 is The Last Boy Scout, which came out in 1991. Great film. It's another one I don't have a physical copy of yet. I'm hoping for a 4K. I've actually been holding out for quite some time, really hoping that we might actually get a 4K of this one, because I believe it's with Warner Brothers. Unlike so many other Tony Scott films that are with either 20th Century Fox or Touchstone Pictures, basically under the Disney umbrella, The Last Boy Scout is one that is not under the Disney umbrella from what I understand. And so I'm actually hoping that we could actually see a 4K of this one at some point. If not directly from Warner Brothers themselves, perhaps from one of the cool boutique labels out there like Vinegar Syndrome or Shout Factory or something. But it's a great film. You got Bruce Willis, you got Damon Wayans, you even got an early performance from Halle Berry in this, if I remember correctly. I haven't seen it since last year. I do have a digital copy of this, and I was on the fence about buying a Blu-ray because the only Blu-ray that seems to be available for, a fairly reasonable price is a double feature Blu-ray with Last Boy Scout and Last Man Standing on it. And both of the films are on a single disc. So, I'm not real crazy about that when they do things like that. Put two films on a single disc, with a lower quality encode. So I'm always thinking to myself, well, I've already got a digital copy I can watch right now for the time being. Maybe better to hold off and wait for a 4K disc release sometime down the line. Hopefully, if it ever comes. I don't even know if such a release would happen or not, but I could see this one possibly getting a 4K release someday. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility at all. So, but it's a fun film. It's really more of a subtle Christmas type action film. It really uses Christmas more as a backdrop, but it is there. And so yeah, if you've never seen The Last Boy Scout, you should definitely check it out at some point. It definitely has the vibe and atmosphere that we look for in this type of seasonal action film. And the other Tony Scott title that I'm putting under this umbrella is Enemy of the State. Love this film. You got Will Smith, Gene Hackman, a bunch of other people in it as well. Just this one definitely has a strong Christmas vibe to it. It all takes place during the holidays. Will Smith's character is out Christmas shopping, and it's very much got a strong Christmas backdrop to it, and just a fun film all the way around. I've certainly talked about this film quite a bit on the channel in my Tony Scott ranking video, for example. So yeah, if you've never seen it, this one came out in 1998? I mean, you've got some great suspense in this and some fun little twists and turns. It's just a fun ride all the way around, and one I would definitely recommend if you've never seen it. So check out Enemy of the State this holiday season. Okay, for my number 7 choice, this is another one of those ones that's not an overtly Christmas film, but it definitely just kind of has that Christmas vibe in the background as kind of a backdrop. And that is Ronin. It's a great kind of like heist thriller, really fun film. This is one of those films that's super rewatchable. I've seen it a bunch of times and I never seem to really get tired of it. So yeah, you got Robert De Niro here, John Reno, and Stellan Skarsgård is in this. And it's one of the, from what I understand, it's one of the last films made in the late 90s that used almost all 100% like practical effects, right? They didn't use any CGI or anything. Everything you see in this film is in camera and it is awesome. It's just a fun ride. The car chase sequence in this it rivals French Connection. It really does. And I know that's a bold statement, but I truly believe it, right? If you've never seen Ronin, just an awesome film. And it like I said, it's a subtle Christmas vibe, very subtle Christmas vibe, but it's definitely there, and it's it's a perfect early December watch. And the 4K from Kino Lorber does look fantastic. They did a great job with this. I know Arrow put this one out on Blu-ray at one point, but this Kino Lorber 4K came out earlier in the year, and it's just awesome. So if by some chance you've never seen Ronin, I would highly recommend it. Give it a try at some point. And for my number 8 choice, we have The Bourne Identity. Love this film, and it's still my favorite of all the Bourne movies. This is the one I tend to return to the most. I don't return to the others as often, but this is one of those ones that I can rewatch quite a bit. And again, Christmas isn't like the central theme of this film, but it definitely has Christmas as a backdrop for the film. And what can we really say about this one, right? Matt Damon. It's the film that really kind of made Matt Damon an action star for a period of time, although I don't know that we can make the case that he is anymore. But yeah, this is the film that kind of took Matt Damon to the next level, right? And so, yeah, fun ride. I've always enjoyed this film. I've always thought it was really well done. And it's one I like to put on around this time of year to kind of add to those cool Christmas action vibes, right? So yeah, so much fun. Love The Bourne Identity. Okay, and my next choice is once again another one of those films where you've definitely got the Christmas backdrop, but it's not necessarily an overtly Christmas type film, right? And that is Cobra, little Stallone action. Love Cobra, such a great film. You just gotta love Stallone's badassery in this film, right? I mean, Marion Cobretti, he was never really happy with that name, remember? He always wanted something a little harder, like Alice. So yeah, great stuff. I mean, you just gotta love stuff like that, along with, of course, You're the Disease and I'm the Cure, right? So, but yeah, this is a great film all the way around. I don't know how much I can really say about Cobra, honestly. Like I said, it's not really an in-your-face Christmas type film, right? It's very... The Christmas vibe is very much more subtle in this one, but you see decorations around and whatnot, and it's definitely there. Stallone is, of course, a cop trying to hunt down a serial killer, which actually ends up being kind of this cultish gang of psychos. So yeah, if you've never seen Cobra, it's just such a badass action flick. Just great stuff all the way around, and I don't think you'll regret putting this on your December watch list either. So yeah, check it out. By the way, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, do me a favor and please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you do, don't forget to hit that notification bell as well so you can be alerted when I'm posting videos that you might be interested in. And also don't forget to like the video as well. It really helps with the algorithm and the channel's visibility out there on YouTube overall. So thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. And then for my number 10 choice is a movie called Reindeer Games from the year 2000. I think kind of an underrated film. I haven't seen it myself in quite a long time. I don't think I've seen it since probably the early 2000s. So I put this one on my list because I actually want to rewatch the film this year. And I do plan to pick it up on Blu-ray myself. Like I said, I haven't seen it in a long time, so I don't totally remember everything about it. I just remember it had a really good cast. You got Ben Affleck, you got Gary Sinise, you got Charlize Theron, and I think some other people too. So I don't remember the film that well, but I do remember liking it, and I figured it was about time for me to come back to this one and revisit it. Essentially, there's like a casino heist component here that all takes place around this time of year, around Christmas time. From what I remember, it actually has some stronger Christmas references in it than maybe the last few films I just talked about on this list. I can't comment too much on this because I only remember so much about it, but I do remember really enjoying the film, and I thought it was a fun ride at the time. So I'm very much looking forward to revisiting that one again this year. Okay, so that wraps up my list of 10, but I do have just a few honorable mentions that I also want to throw out there. The first one being Death Wish 3, little Charles Bronson action. This is another one of those films that uses Christmas as a backdrop, but it's not like a in-your-face kind of Christmas film, right? But it is my favorite Death Wish film out of the ones I've seen. I've seen 1 through 4. I've never seen the 5th one. But out of the ones I've seen, I really like this one probably the most. It's a tie between Death Wish 2 and Death Wish 3 for me. But yeah, just fun film. If you're in the mood to get a little Bronson on, get Bronson kicking some serious ass, it's a fun ride all the way around. So yeah, definitely check it out. And you could probably get away with watching 1 and 2 right before this if you have a problem jumping right into the middle of a franchise out of the blue like that. But this one definitely has some Christmas vibes, some Christmas elements. So it qualifies for this list. Another honorable mention I wanted to bring up, kind of going into the superhero, live action superhero genre a bit here for this one, and that is Batman Returns with Michael Keaton. Danny DeVito's in this. Michelle Pfeiffer is the Catwoman. This definitely has some great Christmas atmosphere, some great Christmas vibes to it, but you also get some superhero action too, right? So now I don't talk a lot about superhero films on this channel very much, or at least I haven't to date. And that's mainly because I'm personally kind of burned out on them, right? But I have always been kind of partial to DC over Marvel, so and Batman has always been one of my favorites. In general, I'm a big Batman fan. Always loved Superman. So, but yeah, this has definitely got some strong Christmas vibes if you're in the mood for this type of action film. And the 4K looks great. 4K looks outstanding on this. So yeah, definitely check it out if you've never seen it or you haven't seen the 4K and you're in the mood for some superhero action. Definitely consider giving this one a try this holiday season. This next honorable mention is a little bit of a different kind of choice for me. It's actually a French film with English subtitles, which normally I'm not the biggest fan of foreign language films like this, but I have heard great things about this one. It's called Deadly Games, Dial Code Santa Claus. Depending on where you're looking for it, sometimes it comes up under Dial Code Santa Claus, sometimes it comes up under Deadly Games. And I know there's more than one movie out there called Deadly Games, so sometimes it can be a little tricky trying to figure out which one's which. But this is the cover you're looking for. It's a 1989 French film, and it is rumored to be the film that inspired Home Alone. Right? I have heard that it's kind of like Home Alone, except, you know, more violent and a little more intense than Home Alone. I've heard some people even suggest that Home Alone was a bit of a ripoff of this film. So I don't know. This is one that I just recently ordered from Vinegar Syndrome during their Black Friday sale. They do have a 4K release of this. You can also buy the standard edition 4K from Vinegar Syndrome. You can buy that from Amazon as well, although when I checked today, there was only like one copy left in stock. So it may or may not be there if you go to look on Amazon for it. But it's supposed to be a great film, and I've just heard great things about it. I've been meaning to check it out for the last couple years, and I figured, well, now's the time. I've heard so many good things about it. I can't wait any longer. I definitely have to check it out. So I ordered it from Vinegar Syndrome, and I'm hoping that it might actually get shipped to me before Christmas. You know, I'm hoping to receive it before Christmas. But I noticed the stock count was getting pretty low on Vinegar Syndrome's website. Of course, you're not going to be able to order it from Vinegar Syndrome right now because we're going into Partners Month, and they don't sell any of their Vinegar Syndrome titles during this month. It's only partner labels. So it might be a little harder for you to find this one to pick up. I'm sure you can find it on eBay or whatnot. However, I did notice that it's on Shudder. So if you have the Shudder streaming service, it's called Deadly Games on Shudder. There's no Dial Code Santa Claus. It's just called Deadly Games. And it says it's like a 2019 release, but it's actually like a 1989, 1990 movie or something like that. So, but it's called Deadly Games. It's on Shudder. If you want to kind of preview it first or just be able to watch it, you know, for the time being to decide if you want to maybe eventually pick it up later on, yeah, give it a try on Shudder. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. And like I said, I just hope that my Vinegar Syndrome order actually gets to me before Christmas so I can watch the new 4K I got of it. So if you've never seen Deadly Games, Dial Code Santa Claus, definitely consider adding this one to your December watch list. Okay, and my last honorable mention here is another Shane Black written film called Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. It's another one I have not seen yet. It's on my own personal watch list for this month. I've heard great things about it, and it comes up on a lot of Christmas action watch lists I've noticed. Other people's Christmas action film watch lists. I've noticed a lot of other people frequently put this one on their list. I don't really know a whole lot about it. I know it's got a great cast. You got Robert Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer in this one, and I think some other people as well. But it's one I've been meaning to get around to, and I just haven't done that in previous years. So I think this year is going to be the time for me to finally watch it for the first time. And now, like I said, this was written by Shane Black. Just a side note about Shane Black, there are quite a few films on this list that were written by Shane Black. Of course, Lethal Weapon, Long Kiss Goodnight, The Last Boy Scout, and then, of course, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang here. All written by Shane Black, all with a underlying kind of Christmas backdrop. I guess Shane Black just really likes the holiday setting as a backdrop for many of the films that he's written. So if you have seen either of the last couple that I talked about, either Kiss Kiss Bang Bang or Deadly Games, I would love to hear your thoughts on them. Let me know what you think of these films because, like I said, these are going to be first-time watches for me this month. Okay, so that about wraps up my list of Christmas action films, my own personal watch list, and my recommendations for your watch list. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I always love chatting with you guys and hearing from you guys. If you guys have got any other recommendations that you think I might be interested in, definitely drop them down below in the comments. I'd like to hear about them. I'm always on the lookout for other films to add to my watch list, so, you know, I love hearing your guys' suggestions too. I really do. So don't forget to like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you so much for watching today. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you soon.